Or this week, mileage running the numbers,
Mileage running the numbers, sort of. Yes, we're going to talk about American Airlines. So Hyatt and Marriott weren't the only ones with monumental announcements this week. The other was American Airlines. So they are ditching the whole way you get elite status. So they, like most other airlines, they currently require you to earn elite qualifying miles or segments and elite qualifying dollars in order to get to elite status. And that's all very complicated, confusing. What they're doing instead is they're moving to a single simplified approach, which is loyalty points. And all you need is to earn loyalty points, which you could earn from flying or from things like credit card spend, and in some cases, partner spend, like shopping with certain partners and that sort of thing. And when you hit certain thresholds of earning loyalty points, then you get to those elite status levels. So huge change to American Airlines elite program.
Pretty good to me, right? I mean, that simplifies things. I hate the whole elite qualifying miles and dollars and segments. There's just too many metrics. I'm like, I just want an easy way to determine if I get elite status or not. One thing that I can count. So I feel like American hit the nail on the head with me as far as that goes.
I've been expecting airlines to do this for years. I think a few years ago, if I remember right, I think I predicted that an airline, maybe Delta or someone, would do it. I'm surprised that it's taken this long. But the sort of the net result is that if you only earn through flying, it's going to cost you more. You're going to have to pay for more flights to get the same status levels. But if you also do things like put some spend on American Airlines credit cards or those other things we talked about, then it's actually going to be, I think, for most people, a lot easier to achieve status.
And a better metric for determining loyalty, in my opinion, because, loyalty is not just about flying the airline. It's about going to their shopping portal when you're going to start shopping online, or, linking up your credit card with their Simply Miles, or having their credit card in the first place. It makes sense to me to reward people who are very loyal to the airline beyond just flying, especially when the majority of an airline's business these days is selling those frequent flyer miles, right? So, it makes sense to me that they're rewarding that. So I think that's good news for probably most listeners. It's bad news for people who, like you said, only earned their status from flight activity. You're going to have to do some other stuff, or you're going to have to spend more.
Right. So this makes American also the second major airline now where you could conceivably just spend your way to top tier status.
Oh, that's not the second. We just talked about Mosaic a few minutes ago.
I said major. So, I mean a major global airline.
Okay, all right. You consider JetBlue major? Come on.
JetBlue, I guess they're major, but they're also regional.
I mean, you're also spending to their bottom tier of status, since they only have one.
The only tier. That's right. Bottom and top.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So Delta, of course, and American, now you can spend your way. So I mean, this all sounds like good news. So should I do it? Should I spend my way? I mean, you can spend your way all the way to top tier executive platinum status, right? I mean, you need 200,000 loyalty points, which I could earn from shopping through the shopping portal and using the credit card. Should I do it? I mean, you do it with Delta. Should I do it with American?
Right. So at a high level, you need 200,000 loyalty points for executive platinum, or 120,000 for platinum pro,
That's a big difference.
which is the next level down. So, so platinum pro is much easier to get and has a lot of the same benefits as executive platinum. I'll dive into that a little bit. And what was I going to say? Most American Airlines credit cards earn one loyalty point per dollar spent. There's one that'll only get a half. And right now there are a few that with certain thresholds of spend, you'll get some bonus loyalty points, but that seems to be an interim time until, because of the perks that they used to offer. And so we're kind of predicting that they'll probably do something even better with those cards, maybe next year, but we don't know. So we're going to base this discussion on what we know right now, which is that most cards earn just one loyalty point, and kind of forget about those extra bonuses that are possible to get, just to simplify the discussion. But so basically $200K to get executive platinum, $120K to get platinum pro. let's talk about some of the benefits. First, the benefits you don't get. So American has these things that are choice benefits. And unlike Delta, with Delta, when you spend your way to top tier status, you do get the choice benefits. With American, you don't. They're separating them. A lot like Hyatt did. Hyatt has their milestone rewards. American is separated out. So if you want those system-wide global upgrades that American gives out at high levels, you have to do other stuff to get those. And it's still based on loyalty points, but you also have to fly 30 segments. So let's just sort of take that off the table because that complicates the conversation, if you don't mind. Okay. So the benefits you do get without flying 30 segments, you can qualify for upgrades on award tickets. You can, I think that's only executive platinum though, not platinum pro.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. And free upgrades are 100 hours out with executive platinum versus 72 hours out with platinum pro. So you have sort of a better chance of getting there first. When you're flying on, paid flights, you get 120% mileage bonus. So these are redeemable miles you earn versus 80% with Platinum Pro. With either one, free same day flight changes. So that's pretty good. Only Executive Platinum you get if you're flying main cabin. So your upgrades failed to clear, you still get free alcohol and a snack if you're sitting back there. And again, another one, only Executive Platinum, expanded award availability on American Airlines itself. So I have no idea how much more award availability, but that sounds pretty exciting in a way. Although you do have to fly American to get it. So to use it,
I don't know if I'd say exciting.
I think useful,
where
maybe. I think
maybe
where I think that's most useful is like positioning flights. So you really want to fly, Qatar using your American Airlines miles, but you have to get to that other airport, and so you have a better chance of securing that award for that positioning flight. One World Emerald status, so that gives you things like access to partner lounges, even when you're not flying business or first class, including first class partner lounges. So
now, is that for both Executive Platinum and Platinum Pro?
It is.
Right?
It is. Yep. And you are also eligible for upgrades on Alaska Airlines. So you also get some perks, other perks like free bags and stuff on both Alaska and JetBlue. So quite a few perks, and but at the same time, a lot of spend.
So tell me, Greg, I look at the two and I say, is it worth another 80,000 spend? Let's say you're doing it all on the credit card. Is it worth spending another $80,000 to get to Executive Platinum? And my answer to that is, unless you're doing the segments for the stuff that we don't get, then no. And if you're not flying American or flying enough segments to get the extra stuff, then I don't think it's worth spending another $80,000 to get upgrades on award tickets, a little bit more earnings on the flights you pay for, and there's one other thing in there somewhere, an expanded award availability. I don't know. The expanded award availability might be kind of nice. I don't think I'd use it often enough for it to be valuable enough to dedicate another 80K spend or shopping portal activity or whatever. But Platinum Pro at 120, or a mix of credit card spend and shopping portal spend and Simply Miles offers, I don't know, that's becoming a little bit more appealing to me because I also get benefits on Alaska and JetBlue then. So I don't know, maybe it's worth it.
So, but think of it this way. So American Airlines cards only earn 1 mile per dollar.
Yeah.
Whereas you could spend on transferable points currencies like Capital One or Citi Thank You, where you'd get 2 points per dollar. And so 120,000, that's 120,000 fewer points you're getting by putting 120,000 K spend on an American Airlines card.
That's a good point.
It's not cheap. They're transferable points that you'd be getting if you do it this other way versus just American Airlines. So I haven't done a full analysis, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't see that. So here's how I feel about it. Like, unless you're already flying American enough to be like getting towards those status levels, it just doesn't seem like you're going to get enough out of it to be worth it. And if you are already flying American to get close to them, then the question is like, do you spend more on the card to get to that next level? And then that's a whole different question, I think. And I would be more likely to say yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But I think, so if this X1 card becomes a real thing, Greg wrote about the X1 card earlier this week and how, you can, if with enough spend, you can get 15 or 3 points per dollar on most spend, and then use them at 1 cent each for things like American Airlines flights, right? And so, or if you refer somebody, it's 4. So even at 3, if you're getting 3% back and using those rewards to book paid American Airlines flights and earn a base level of 5 loyalty points per dollar spent on American, suddenly I might consider flying more paid American flights with the combination of the X1 card and this new loyalty points scheme. And then I might consider adding to, like you said, adding to the spend with a credit card and the shopping portal to bridge the gap. So even not flying a ton, I mean, even just flying some, I can't think of a number, I'd have to do the analysis on American, that might work out.
It might. So one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to is the good old days of portals. So it used to be that portal shopping would and things like buying 1-800-Flowers would count towards Southwest Companion Pass. So we used to regularly write about deals where you could, buy a bunch of things and resell them or donate them to charity and sort of buy the Southwest Companion Pass cheaply. We might have a window of opportunity before American wises up where we could buy our way to top tier elite status. But we don't have the details yet about how the portal thing's going to work. So we don't know.
That's what I was most excited about when I saw it. Because I mean, I've done a lot of buying and selling over time through portals, buying things online to resell, usually for a small profit. But like you said, it might even be worth it for a small loss, depending on how much. And even if you're just earning 10 miles per dollar, then $12,000 worth of stuff would give you Platinum Pro potentially. So even if you sold that $12,000 of stuff for $11,000, and you spend about $1,000 on 120,000 American Airlines miles and Platinum Pro status, that's probably worthwhile. So, and obviously the 1-800-Flowers type offers may even be better than that. So it may even be a cheaper path. So totally agree. That's probably the part that excites me the most.
Yeah. Those things are always fun when we figure out how to manipulate it all and get great value with relatively low spend.